Intro. Intro. Which one should I do? Narration? Yeah, narrate. Oh, we haven't seen the narrator. Let's see if we can do this. Hello, everyone. There it is. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Taking Initiative Barovian Rhapsody. It's been a while since I've been around. You've been hearing from the other players as of recently. But I figured to give you a bit of a lay of the land. It's a new whole world for them. Our characters Ven, Kent, Callista, and the newly acquired Abraham head on out from Barovia in search for Madam Eva, a mysterious Vistani woman who may be able to help them in their quest. What quest, mind you? Well, they may be looking for help for their unfortunately deceased friend MacLeod, but I have a hunch that they will be learning a little bit more than what they expected. I do hope you enjoy this episode of Taking Initiative Barovian Rhapsody.
Before we actually get on the road, Abraham changes into his armor.
On the road again. I can't wait to get on the road.
I like your singing voice, boy.
Thank you. Oh wait, my other character has a fiddle. Damn it.
So you guys are on the road for quite a few hours. Is there anything you guys want to talk about or do or anything?
So, elephant in the room. Then, you died? You've been dead before too?
What? What?
I don't want to make a big deal out of it.
That's right. I did say that. Yes, I have.
Yeah, you gave away your secret already.
Do you want to
yes.
Elaborate on that story?
I mean, it's not a very difficult story. I died 2 times, and both times I was brought back.
Well, Strahd must be praised that you came back, son.
Yes, I was very lucky. The first time, I do not know who brought me back.
It was me.
I do not think that is true, for I do not believe. How old are you?
Girl.
You never ask a woman her age.
You hadn't met the missus then.
I mean, she is a half-elf, and age is
I'm
not
100 years old.
Are you?
God.
I mean, it might have been you. I do not know, but it probably was not. Did you have a dragon
you hadn't
pet?
met the missus by then.
I'm sorry?
Did you have a dragon pet?
Yeah.
Is that where?
No.
Is that where you got our scene?
No.
Oh my god, imagine I was the person that sold him. Anyway.
No, our scene came a little later. When I was very young.
He was 5.
I was growing up on the streets of Luskan. I came onto an unfortunate encounter, and I was... The last thing I remembered was seeing a creature in front of me, being stabbed, and then waking up outside my grandmother's house.
From Barovia?
My grandmother, yes, was from Barovia, but...
Okay.
Yes.
I want you to be like, no, the grandmother on the other side.
No. But the second time, I was on a mission. Previous to when we met, I was on a mission and we encountered a lich, which was not meant to be a thing. We were able to dispose of him, but I lost my life a second time. I was then revived by a specific creature, and there before me was Arsene. I had to make a choice of either taking Arsene with me or leaving her there to die, and I ultimately took her with me. And both times I have been lucky enough to be revived. I cannot say the same for MacLeod right now, but I am going to do the best I can to make sure that the same happens to him.
That was gonna be my next question. Is do you think that we'll be able to get him back?
I do not know. I was lucky. I do not know if MacLeod will be quite as lucky or not. These types of magic are very far and few.
All right, I'm happy with that story.
You have appeased me.
So, in your travels, you cross a river, you continue down through some woods, and then you reach a crossroads. An old wooden gallows creaks in a chill wind that blows down from the high ground to the west. A frayed length of rope dances from its beam. The well-worn road splits here, and a signpost opposite the gallows points off in 3 directions. Barovia Village to the east, the Seer Pool to the northwest, and Ravenloft Valakai to the southwest. The northwest fork slants down and disappears into the trees, while the southwest fork clings to an upward slope. Across the gallows, a low wall, crumbling in places, partially encloses a small plot of graves shrouded in fog. So this is the crossroads that they were talking about before, to head right to go to the Vistani area.
Yes.
Yeah, they should be down at the seer pool.
So when you guys are crossing by that crossroads, you'll look towards the gallows. You hear a creaking noise coming from behind the cart, coming from the gallows. Where there was nothing before, now hangs a lifeless gray body. The breeze turns the hanged figure slowly, so that it can fix its dead eyes upon you. Kent,
Yeah?
you notice that this person seems very familiar.
Oh no.
The person has a cowboy hat on,
Mm.
has a long trench coat, some brown boots, and your gun hanging from its belt in a holster. This person's not you, because it's a man.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you recognize it as the person you took your gun from.
Because it's a man.
Yeah.
Actually, it's
Confirming
it's actually the
that
correct
Kent is a
size.
child.
Different race, not a halfling. It's a man.
It's a man.
Can I reach it? Is he's hanging from a tree, right?
You're not walking, you're in a cart, so
Oh, okay. I just see him.
you see him hanging there, and the gun hanging from his belt as well. And you remember this as the man who fought a soldier in the past, that when you were walking through the woods, you stumbled upon it. And the soldier was trying to take advantage of a woman. And this man came from nowhere and tried to stop him. And in the midst of trying to fend the soldier off, both died in the process, leaving the woman there unharmed, thankfully. And you approached. When the woman woke up, she saw you and the two dead men, and confused of what happened. She thanked you for helping her, which is obvious bullshit, but you just watched, but you didn't say anything. You were just entranced in the idea of, I may have helped. Maybe I did something cool. And you look at the man who came from nowhere and stepped in, and seeing this really cool contraption that's hung from around the waist. And the woman gets up, she rustles your hair a bit, and goes, "Thank you," and walked off. And you looked back down, and then you look down at yourself in the cart, and see the gun hanging from your waist currently. And you also feel the brim of your cowboy hat, which is the same hat that the man had as well. Your memory kind of comes back, and you look at the man again hanging, and it's just a body. It's not the man who you thought it was. Your vision cleared up, but you had a nice memory back to the day that kind of formed you being a hero. I say that in quotes. You're not really a hero yet.
Yeah. I basically just tip my hat to the man who's not the man, and I look back to my compatriots and see if they see anything. Like if I see anything in their faces that would like make me realize that they're also seeing things.
Oh, Abraham's got his eyes closed, and he's just rocking with the cart.
Then, Callista, you two just see a body hanging there.
Just generic old body.
Just generic
Yeah, so I
body.
don't see anything in their faces. So which makes me feel like I don't want to say anything because I don't want them really knowing where I came from yet, I guess.
Okay.
Or at least not knowing every detail about that whole incident. But yeah, I keep that shit to myself.
Okay. So you guys continue on down the road on the right, and you eventually get to a body of water. The road gradually disappears and is replaced by a twisted, muddy path through the trees. Deep ruts in the earth are evidence of the comings and goings of wagons. The canopy of mist and branches suddenly gives way to black clouds boiling far above. There's a clearing here, next to a river that widens to form a small lake several 100 feet across. 5 colorful round tents, each 10 feet in diameter, are pitched outside a ring of 4 barrel-topped wagons. A much larger tent stands near the shore of the lake, its sagging form lit from within. Near this tent, 8 unbridled horses drink from the river. The mournful strains of an accordion clash with the singing of several brightly clad figures around bonfire. A footpath continues beyond this encampment, meandering north between the river and the forest edge. So you guys are approaching the camp.
Do we hear anything or see anything? What do we see or hear?
You hear
What he
some...
just said.
Okay, all right. No, I wanted to make sure that we like heard it and it wasn't just like when you eventually get there. That's sorry.
Yeah, you just hear the accordion clashing and some singing and jovial sounds.
My spirits are lightening. Feeling a little happier.
So, do you guys do anything to approach? What do you guys want to do?
Oh, you can always find the Vistani by the sound they make. I walk cinnamon sticks into the camp.
Okay.
Okay, what do we see? What do we see? I want to know like if they're like doing a. Do I know what kind of like ritual they're doing? Or
They're not doing a ritual. So there's 12 Vistani. They're sitting and standing around the fire, telling stories, guzzling wine. They seem pretty drunk and intoxicated. But there's 3 more sober-looking ones that are resting against the wagons. They kind of leap up. You over there. What do you want?
Oh, I just brought these here. Lost. Children. I want something to do with your leader.
Oh, they came here to see Madam Eva then.
I suppose.
Oh, she's a little bit indisposed for the night, but you guys like to join us around the fire? We're having some alcohol. You may want to sit down and enjoy yourself.
Well, strong must be praised.
I'd love to.
As much as we would love to do that, time is of the essence here.
Why is that then?
Oh, he's dead. He ain't going nowhere.
I gotta side with old Abraham over here. Seems to be a good time.
I think it may be worth speaking to Madam Eva about. We have a friend who has recently perished. And
He's in the back.
we have heard that Madam Eva has abilities possibly to bring him back to our aid. We have a mission.
Oh, very sorry to hear that. What happened to your friend?
He was...
Go back and listen to episodes 1 through 9 to find out what happened.
Let me get my iPod out and I'll get right on that podcast.
Holy fuck, where did you get an iPod? I have lost my character voice. Do you see what you've done here?
He took his life for our sake, but it was taken too soon. And it was taken by, as we have basically heard him called the devil of Barovia.
Oh, you mean Strahd then? Yeah, that seems to be everyone's word for him.
Yes.
Yes,
Do
understood.
you know him?
Well, I don't know him personally, but everyone around here knows who Strahd is.
Yeah, but it is a pretty mixed bag to see if people actually like to talk about his actual name or if they call him the devil. I mean, he's Strahd. I do not know why people do not call him Strahd. Do they know he is there or something if you say his name? I'm confused.
Strahd is a very, very powerful person. It's
I get that, yes.
He's thankfully, we are friends of his. So it's not much of a problem for us, but he makes things a little tougher for other people.
Mm.
However, given what you said, I'll see if Madam Eve is available to talk to you.
Oh, I would very much appreciate that. If it is all possible, I would appreciate that. We will hang out here though. We will partake in drink and the like.
All right then. Just give me a couple of minutes. I'm going to go inside the tent. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I head over to the crowd and I want to see how hot the women are. Sorry.
Cool. He chuffs off to the tent. Like, it looks like the bigger kind of tent that is making an impression on the area. The other 2 sober ones kind of lead you into the camp, and the music is a little louder over here, obviously, because you're getting closer to the source. Everyone's just enjoying themselves thoroughly.
Okay, cool. So I want to walk over, like Night at the Roxbury's, and I want to get a little bit more animated. The more and more I realize that there are very good-looking women around. And I want to grab some wine from off of somebody who's like probably in the middle of drinking it. I want to take it out of their hand, and I want to go up to the nearest woman that's by herself and start talking to her.
You take it, and you feel a swift punch from the person you just took it from across your jaw. And when you look back, he presents another glass of wine to you and goes, "Next time you should just ask me, man." And then gives you a glass and starts dancing.
Oh my god, that guy sounds like Sean Connery. It's ridiculous.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Noted. And then I cheers him if he's willing to, and I take a drink and I go near the closest attractive woman.
He cheers you, and you guys notice that the accents are noticeably different and on purpose. It's not just me. So it looks like all these people are from different possible cultures and such.
Mm-hmm.
But just a thing to note. So you guys start mingling with the people or doing whatever you want to do outside. It takes a couple minutes. Kent is flirting about, and everyone's super drunk.
Do you know Madam Eva?
They just give you
We're
that
here to see
smile
Madam Eva.
of like, no shit, of course we do. And
I'm gonna turn to Van and be like, "Oh, your son's gonna get himself punched in the face."
He is not my
Again.
son, and I think that that's actually pretty funny. So we should probably see how this is going to go.
All right, I like the way you think.
So while you guys are waiting around, you see everyone kind of wave each other in to sit around the fire and have a story. And one of them sits there and goes, "It's been a while since we had a a story about the wizard of these parts. And I'm taking you guys aren't from around here. Would you guys like to listen?"
Yeah.
All right.
We got nothing but time, so sure.
Abraham, you have faint memories of stories about a wizard of the land. So this may not be a full-on new story to you.
Ooh, could I instead back him up on drums for mood music?
Make a performance check, please.
Ooh,
That bard cross class coming into play.
hell yeah! I'm gonna use this shit. Natural fucking 20.
I was going to say a 1.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, so you do this like double bass Slayer Rain of Fire thing to start off.
Do-do-do-do-do.
Which
Rain
is
of Blood,
impressive
sorry.
because I have a hand drum.
And you go, and he turns around and goes, "Wow, that's very nice. All right, so we got some mood music. Let's get this going." A mighty wizard came to this land over a year ago. I remember him like it was yesterday. He stood exactly where you're standing. Very charismatic, and he points to Van. Very charismatic man he was. He thought he could rally the people of Barovia against the devil Strahd. He stirred them with thoughts of revolt and bore them to the castle en masse. When the vampire appeared, the wizard's peasant army fled in terror. A few stood their ground and were never seen again. The wizard and the vampire cast spells at each other. The battle flew from the courtyards of Ravenloft to a precipice overlooking the falls. I saw the battle with my own eyes. Thunder shook the mountainside, and great rocks tumbled down upon the wizard, yet by his magic he survived. Lightning from the heavens struck the wizard, and again he stood his ground. But when the devil Strahd fell upon him, the wizard's magic couldn't save him. I saw him thrown 1,000 feet to his death. I climbed down to the river to search for the wizard's body to see if, in anything of value. But the river Ilvis had already spirited him away.
I would like to roll an inside check on the entirety of his story.
Okay.
Yeah, never mind. That's a 5.
That's a pretty legit story from where you're sitting.
Cool.
So after that story, like all the Vistani people start dancing again and go over to Abraham to talk to him about his fantastic drumming skills. When the first guy that you met comes out of the tent, the larger tent, he goes, "Oh, I think Madam Eva's ready for all of you. Enjoy your story out here."
Oh, it's always a pleasure.
Yes, this was a very nice story. Thank you. We will go speak to Madam Eva.
Well, sounds good to me. You guys can come in whenever you're ready. She's always been expecting you.
Great.
Nah.
Let's go
All
talk
right.
to her. Then.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna get up and do it.
Oh, fantastic. Let me go into my backpack and grab my Tarok cards.
What?
I'll be right back. I gotta get my cards.
Oh, the magical voice is leading us. Forgot something.
Just so you know, I only prepped all of the town because I didn't think we were going to get through all of that in 2 hours. So, yay!
Oh, because we were gonna go to the
The
that place
crying
again.
woman. The
Well, to be fair,
tavern.
I feel like it plays fairly well because they were worried for
I
their
agree.
friend
Yes.
McHale.
Yeah.
And they wanted to go help her.
First
I agree.
things
I'm not-
first,
yeah.
MacLeod. Once we get him back, then we can worry about other shit.
Yeah, I'm all for helping some peoples
Until
but once we
Mikhail
get our friend back.
rushes into something else and dies again.
Hey, he didn't rush into that. He thought long and hard about it,
no,
and
I
then he
know.
texted Josh, and then he was like,
Mikhail texted Josh.
And then he chewed on his own lip for a little bit, and then he did it.
Okay, so you guys all walk into the tent. Magic flames cast a reddish glow over the interior of the tent, revealing a low table covered in a black velvet cloth. Glints of light seem to flash from a crystal ball on the table as a hunched figure peers into its depths. As the crone speaks, her voice crackles like dry weeds. "At last you have arrived!" Cackling laughter bursts like mad lightning from her withered lips. She looks at all of you and goes,
Ah, I haven't seen the visions of you in quite some time. Vendilar Greymire, interesting. It's good to lay eyes on you.
Would I have any idea of who she is?
Nope.
Like, would my grandmother have ever told me about her?
You know what? Make a history check.
A 20.
A 20. You did hear about Madam Eva before. You know that she is she's a bit nuts. But in fact, she's actually a very smart woman.
Mm-hmm.
And she doesn't really play for a side.
Okay. Then I would bow.
I like that.
I would bow to her and say, "It is a pleasure to finally meet you."
So you also know that she wants to free the land of Barovia from Strahd as well. But she doesn't really outwardly do that, but you would have heard this from your grandmother of they colluded together kind of a deal.
Cool.
It is finally nice to see you as well. Kent Brickwood of the East Farthing Brickwoods, I believe. How are you?
I do a very big show and I bow because clearly Ven knows her and trusts her a little bit. So I'm like, I don't know you.
As opposed
but
to
hello.
those dirty, dirty West Farthing Brickwoods.
Yeah.
And his hat falls right off. Wait, no, we established
It always stays on.
In canon, it's
always
always on.
stays
Always stays on.
It's cursed.
She looks over at Callista and she goes,
Ah, you finally made it out, it seems, Callista.
Oh no, that
Jesus.
ruined so much drama.
Fucking Christ.
"What happened?"
She's been keeping her fucking notebook on my computer, on my tower, and it just fucking collapsed. Can you not
What were
do
you
that?
saying? I'm sorry. I don't have anywhere else to put it. Oh, I mean, I guess.
Oh, I guess.
Oh, like the table?
Yeah.
I said,
The desk?
Ah, you finally made it out of the house, Callista. How is the rest of your party doing?
Oh.
You tell me.
Too soon.
It's, oh, wait. Horrible. Wait.
Oh wait,
She's actually
horrible.
drunk, so-
You're not wrong. Cut. Pick up.
Pick up.
Pick up.
Horrible. You have to help us. I'm so sorry. Wait.
And take 3.
"Well, we'll just skip over it and go,
And Abraham, it's taken you quite some time to get here. You've been in town for a very long period of time.
Had some difficulty with my cart. They're all kind of stingy out there. Ain't no one got a wheel.
Where is Mikhail?
Oh.
Is that dead fella's name?
Yes, that's that dead
He's
fellow's name.
on the cart still.
We need your help.
How did he die?
He sacrificed himself.
He took his life
For us.
in place of us in the house.
she kind of sits back and takes a breath and goes,
I see. Unfortunately, his soul is trapped in that house.
Back into the house.
Is there any way to extract from the house?
I'll do anything to get him back.
Well, it depends on how important this is to you. This is let's say you don't have the proper tools yet. You need to go inside of the house and bring him back.
He was my best friend. I'll do anything to bring him back. Honestly.
she goes,
I would bring him back if I could, but that house's evil blocks even me. The only way to bring someone back is to bring them back inside, and then take them out.
And she kind of hovers her hand over the crystal ball, and the lights, like the flickering flames that are inside the tent, kind of go darker, which doesn't make any sense because they're not lowering in their flame, they're just producing less light. And the crystal ball seems to emanate and cast out this type of illusion. And you see the death house going through the front door, going through the trap door that's in the hunter's den, back down the stairs, through the rooms, and as soon as it gets to the bottom floor and through the portcullis, you see these astral beings fighting each other. You see people in robes slashing about with daggers and casting spells, seeming like they're from like the ethereal plane. None of them are actually there, but their spirits are. And they're battling people that look and sound and are configured uniquely. These are all fallen fallen adventurers who have entered into this house before. You see Callista, your old party, in there. They're fighting with swords and spells and maces and constantly in battle. When one falls, they just get brought back and they keep fighting. And right on the altar itself, battling all the different spirits, is MacLeod. And you don't even see his armor. He's just his dragonborn self. And he's slashing about with his blade that he would bring from nowhere. And he's cutting through these rogue figures, which just keep coming back. And slash and cut back. Slash, and another one comes back. And one of them rips MacLeod down and he falls to the altar. And he just stands back up and starts slashing at more. And the vision pulls out of the room, comes out the door, and flicks right back into the tent. And the flames come back up. And the crystal ball dulls the glow. She goes, "Yes."
Now look, Madam Eva, I may not have been able to help my party many, many times, but we have MacLeod's body here, and there has to be something that we could do to bring him back.
I'm sorry, child.
Now, there has to be something
I've
that
told
can
you
be
what
done.
needs to be done. If you wish to bring him back. I do not know if he is part of the legend or not, but he's halfway there at least.
So, you
What?
say we do not have
Correct.
the tools necessary.
Can you resurrect anyone?
How do we get these tools? Currently, no, that is not within my skill set.
Can you pull someone from the astral plane? Don't even flip through the book, you can't.
Nope! That is a big
He's gonna try.
I do
resounding no.
not have the proper tools. Maybe, later on, as you learn and grow through the land, you may come across methods of doing so. Or maybe you find it within yourself.
And she points at Ven
and goes, maybe it is in you and you need to find it yourself.
If it will bring him back, I am sure I will find it.
And she looks over at Callista because she heard the questionable tone in her voice. She goes,
You seem curious about what I said.
What is this legend?
Well, the legend is of the Deathwalkers. The Deathwalkers are said to be the ones to actually bring Strahd from a place of undeath into death. The Deathwalkers are said to be a group of people who have all been dead before. I believe MacLeod is halfway there since he is still in a bit of a state.
Still dead,
That
you
is
mean.
a way to put it.
Nobody is asking you, you filthy man.
Well, I'm right here.
If
My
you
knees
fight in my
starting
tent,
to
I
ache.
So they
will
go and
kick you
sit
out.
down outside.
Yeah, I'm sorry. What was that, Madam Eva?
Don't get
Everyone,
kicked out.
please calm down.
That is a legend.
I hope your
Continue.
knee buckles.
And I believe most of you fit that quality, if memory serves correctly. So, I'm going to hope that you
are all the ones that can do it. And Abraham, you are not mentioned in the legend. However, does not mean you cannot help.
Oh, I just want to get out of this place.
I cannot blame you there. Now,
And she takes some cards and puts them on the table, right by the crystal ball.
may I see how your path is to be followed? Would you mind if I read your fortune?
I do think that
Yes,
this may help.
I agree. Yes, I concur.
Keep in
Yeah.
mind, I will say this now, your fortune has already been told. This will rewrite your future.
Oh god.
That's fine. If
What?
I will say, for me personally, I'm not speaking for anybody else. For me personally, if it will help me get back my best friend, if it will make my future better.
Yeah, but she's saying that there's a legend that we are instrumental in the taking down of Strahd, right? Which means that that's our future that's happening. If we were to rewrite it, it would it's at some point if these cards turn over and they're negative, then that could systematically take us out of the running to bring down Strahd, right?
Yes. Well, that's why I said not for you guys, but for me, because I would not want to go out without my best friend. So for me personally, I feel like it's worth it. If it's gonna help in the least to get back MacLeod, I'm with you, boo. Let's go. Turn them cards, girl.
What say the rest of you?
Will this get me out of here?
Abraham, shut the fuck
As in the tent
Not
or
the tent.
world?
Barovia.
Okay.
I realize I could just walk out of the tent. It's made of cloth.
You are a smartass.
Yes,
Will-
ma'am.
Will you, drawing these cards, possibly help us bring an end to Strahd?
It would at least tell you some hints of your future instead of walking blind through the world.
Strahd has taken something from us. I do believe at this time we take something from him.
He has taken quite a few things from the look of it.
And he looks over at Kent and looks over at Callista.
Word up.
And actually, at Vend.
Yeah.
And I do believe it is time we maybe repaid that debt.
Okay, if everyone agrees, then I will skeptically agree as well.
As soon as you nod your head, she goes, fantastic, and shuffles. Just kind of does this weird card shuffling thing in the air, which I cannot do, and I'm not going to do because it's on audio, and you guys want people to appreciate it.
I just want all the cards to immediately just separate in front of her and float around in the air and then just reappear as a deck in front of her.
That's what I was thinking. That's exactly
No, they all turn into birds and they fly around the room. And then we're like, what? And she's like, I'm done. Please leave. I just wanted to show you my magic trick.
And John Woo says, cut. Okay.
It's
so
very confusing.
She has two decks in front of her. One's a larger deck and one is a smaller deck. And while she's shuffling around, she goes,
This will tell us the position of 3 items in the world that you can use to take down Strahd. One of the other ones will tell you who can help you. And the 5th will tell you where you can find the devil himself. Just promise me that you will use this to help end the struggle in Barovian.
We will do the best we can. That is all we can do.
That is all I can ask. Just don't mess up.
Okay,
Noted.
great.
she positions the cards, one to the left, one to the top, and then one to the right. So she flips over the card on the left, and it is a wizard.
The first card is the Master of Stars, which is the wizard. Look for a wizard's tower on a lake. Let the wizard's name and servant guide you to that which you seek.
And she looks over at Kent.
You may be interested in this one.
And she looks at Kent, and when she says that, this may interest you.
What you will find, the Tome of Strahd. This card tells of history. Knowledge of the ancient will help you better understand your enemy.
Then she flips the second card.
This second card is the holy symbol of Ravenkind. This card tells of a powerful force for good and protection, a holy symbol of great hope. The card is a Four of Swords, which is a mercenary. The thing you seek lies with the dead, under mountains of gold coins.
She flips the third card.
This is a card of power and strength. It tells of a weapon of vengeance, a sword of sunlight. The card is the Nine of Stars, or the Conjurer. I see a dead village, drowned by a river, ruled by one who has brought great evil into the world. The fourth card sheds light on one who will help you greatly in the battle against darkness. The fourth card is the Seer. Look for a dusk elf living among the Vistani. He has suffered a great loss and is haunted by dark dreams. Help him, and he will help you in return. And the final card. Your enemy is a creature of darkness, whose powers are beyond mortality. This card will lead you to him. The card is the Ghost. Look to the father's tomb.
As soon as she's done, she puts her hands above the cards, kind of, and the cards disappear. And she goes,
That is all that I can tell you. However, I will also state that, then, you may want to seek out some lineage from your grandmother while you're here. They may be able to help.
Do you know where I would go for that?
You can ask around, but your fun small companion there will be a bit of a hint.
What?
Kent?
she looks over at Arsene.
Oh,
Aww.
Arsene. Oh, okay.
Oh, he thought she meant Kent. Oh.
I'm gonna look over towards Arsene, and she's just kind of like, I want to say she's kind of like giving the equivalent of a dragon smile towards me, and I kind of like scratch her on the head.
Can I go up to her and ask her a question privately?
Yeah, she sees you approaching, goes,
Yes, Kent.
So, you seem to know a lot about a lot. Can you tell me who Bartholomew is?
she looks over at Callista.
It is probably best not to tell her.
Damn you! Damn you!
And that is not for me to say.
I knew it. I knew it. I know you know. I know you know, and you're keeping it from me.
Got real aggressive there.
Can
Sorry.
you tell me what the resurrection would entail? Just because I've heard these cards doesn't mean I'm not gonna outwardly seek finding a way to bring MacLeod back as soon as possible.
I would not say that is a bad idea, because having more people with you is obviously going to be a plus. I will warn you that your second trip inside will not be as easy. There are a couple ways to do resurrection out in the world. Sometimes there are items that will help you. Sometimes there are powers you can make deals with. There's also high-level spells that will be able to do such things. The spell, at least, requires a very expensive diamond. Other than that, I do not know of any other way. If you can find a way to go inside and pull him from this plane of existence and fend off the spirits which fight him, I believe you can get him back. However, as you saw, that is no easy task. I can resurrect people.
Yes.
I cannot do it here, and I am not leaving here. I cannot go in that house. I cannot intervene unless I am in this tent. Strahd cannot know.
What
that
what
I am
if
against
what
it.
if we just pick up the tent and you just walk along with it while we're moving it?
Physics is not your strong suit, is it?
I have a real question.
Donna says no. Callista says yes because she has a 17 intelligence.
I have an actual question.
Okay.
Will they need to haul this pile of dead flesh around with them?
Are you fucking kidding? And I just leave the tent.
She says,
Will they need to take it into the house?
That is the point, yes. You need to bring the spirit back into the body, and then take the body outside.
Alright. Yeah, that's going to present a nice little challenge for you.
You're coming to... Oh, I'm not in there.
You're out of the tent.
Just leap to be offended.
I'm gonna peek my head back in and I'm just gonna say, can I give you anything that you want in order to be able to resurrect him? Honestly.
What do you mean?
I want to resurrect him. Can I give you something?
I gave you all the information that I can give you.
Okay.
There's nothing else I can say.
Okay.
Alright, Madam Eva. I have one more question here.
Yes, Abraham.
I told Father Donovich I'd ask. His son's been afflicted by the devil. Wanted to know if you could cure him. I told him it'd be easier just to kill him and bring him back, but he didn't want none of that.
Well, unless you know how to resurrect him in a very similar way that you will MacLeod later, that's killing him and bringing him back will help, but that man has suffered enough.
Oh, I agree. I keep telling the poor man to put his son out of his misery.
Then that is his own prerogative. If he would like to suffer, then that is on him. However, he should be careful, because if he gets out, he will wreak havoc and kill.
I'm aware.
I hope he will be aware as well.
I think he's blinded by his own love.
That is an unfortunate thing that happens a little too often.
Well, we'll figure this out. Well, I won't. It's not my business.
Is there anything else I can do for all of you?
Nope. I think we're good, right?
All right, she goes, okay, if there is nothing else that I can do for you, because I believe I have done as much as I possibly can, please get out so I can go to sleep.
You mind if we stay here for the night?
By all means, it is nighttime. Feel free to take one of the areas around the camp and have a rest, for you have a very long journey ahead of you. Oh, and
Well, thank him.
one last thing. I would take Ismark up on his offer for your next bit of business.
I was already planning it. I told him I'd take care of that for him.
Good. Protect that woman, please.
I'll do my best.
I'm gonna wait for everybody to leave the tent, and then I'm gonna stand there for a moment and wait as everyone leaves.
Stromos
Okay,
be
I'm
praised, and I limp out.
Strumbo.
I hit him with him. I hit him with my cane.
As they all walk out, I'm gonna stand there and I'll say to her, "You know, my grandmother told me many stories about you. She told me of a very wise woman who had much to give.
She was talking about me then.
I just want to say that I am glad that her stories were true."
She
Thank you.
bows her head a bit and goes,
I appreciate your kind words. I hope that your presence here means that the legend will come to fruition.
I do as well.
This land needs to be rid of Strahd as soon as possible.
Believe me, Strahd has made an enemy for life. Or, as far as I'm concerned, as far as his life will take him. For I am sure we will be the ones to take him out.
I do hope so. However, do not underestimate him, because he has eyes everywhere. More than likely, he'll know where you're going before you do.
I will keep that in mind.
I don't like that. I don't like that he knows what we're doing.
Drew, were you going to say something?
Oh, I was gonna make a dumb joke. It wasn't. I was just gonna say, you hear in the background, like, won't take long for you to die.
Before I leave you, before you go to sleep, there is something I wanted to ask you.
Yes.
Are you able to, you are obviously very strong with magic and in the arcane arts.
Yes, I would say
Are you able,
God damn it.
God, I wanted him to be behind the tent peeking and saying these things.
Yes, I am. Very strong.
It's what, Mrs. Swan as Madam Eva?
Yes.
Oh,
He looking like a man.
Yes, I am very, very strong.
So, are you? My question is, are you able to perceive through illusions?
Maybe.
Hold on, while the subway goes by, let me just flip to the page.
Okay.
I don't know. I personally think that Nick doing this particular voice he's spot on.
Thank you.
He's mocked you perfectly, Josh. And yes, I said mocked.
Mocked is the correct word.
I would go with impersonation. It's flattery.
Okay, to go back in, and for me to remember the character's voice, and not Mrs. Swan.
Maybe.
I cannot exactly see through illusion. However, I do have some spells that could help with such things.
I'm going to reach into my bag and pull out the letter that I found that has nothing on it, but I perceive to have magic essence on it, and drop it down in front of her and say, is there any possibility, I will of course pay if need be, is there any possibility that you may be able to see what is written on here? I understand that there is illusion magic on it, but I am not able to perceive what is on it.
Yo.
One sweet callback to the first episode ever. Nice.
Yeah, Bucky, okay, I'm gonna pull it down now. Bucky, that was the most beautiful thing you've ever thought of to do. Let's be real here.
Don't talk like that!
Are you kidding me?
Wait,
Call back from episode 1. Killer. Oh my god. #blessed.
I don't
Hashtag
talk
Nick,
like
can
that.
I be your next character, please?
Yes, I'll do my best.
Wait, I don't talk like that.
I'm
one said it was you,
Abraham. Nah, nails it.
Okay,
I don't
got
so
talk like that.
she'll take the letter, and she'll look at it and go,
Ah, yes, this is very simple magic to help hide a message unless you know the proper incantation or a way to break it, which I can do.
So she takes it, does a quick little spell, and puts her hand on the page and just kind of draws her hand down it. And as her hand draws down, words show up on the page.
Woo!
What words?
She hands it back to you. And it says this in this really shitty script that I will try to speak. Hail thee of might and valor. I, the burgomaster of Barovia, send you honor with despair. My adopted daughter, the fair Irina Koliana, has been these past nights bitten by a vampire. With a Y, because fancy vampires. For over 400 years, this creature has drained the lifeblood of my people. How my dear Irina languishes and dies from an unholy wound caused by this wild beast. He has become too powerful to conquer. So I say to you, give us up for dead, and encircle this land with the symbols of good. Let holy men call upon their power, that the devil may be contained within the walls of weeping Barovia. Leave our sorrows to our graves, and save the world from this evil fate of ours. There is much wealth entrapped in this community. Return for your reward after we are all departed for a better life. Kolian Indierovich, Burgomaster of Barovia.
So that's at Arena.
It's at
Correct.
Arena. What you can surmise from the letter, because I was trying to rip through that script there. So what it was basically looking like was the Burgomaster, which you remember his name from Ismark and Ismark saying it earlier. This is the Burgomaster that was like his father. Whether or not this actually came up in this game, I don't remember, but it is. So there we go. You would have recognized the last name. It looks like he was reaching out to help. And since his letter was on somebody who was like clawed up by the entranceway, you're thinking maybe he was sending a letter out to the world to get some help with all the shit that was going on here.
But it was unsuccessful, obviously.
Correct. And you guys found it, so you guys see that Arena is being kind of hunted down. So
we are the
Ismark's, yes, Ismark, what he said seems to be backed up by this.
So I'm going to fold up the envelope and I'm going to say, thank you very much. This is very helpful to us.
You are
Is there
quite
anything
welcome.
I can do to repay you for it?
Just rid us of Strahd, and that will be enough for me.
I would like to scream from the outside. Hey, do you want me to sleep with her as a thank you?
Why would you do that? Why would you do that?
Never mind.
Come here.
I'm coming.
I should go rejoin my friends. Thank you.
You are very welcome.
Right before that, when you leave and you hear that coming from Kent, like while you're leaving, you hear From the idea.
In my old age, I totally would bang him.
No!
Yeah,
You were
that's
so handsome. Oh, yeah.
As you leave the tent, I have Kent by his ear and I'm pulling him back.
I feel like he's 1 point higher on the.
I'm gonna go as soon as I walk out. I basically go over to wherever Abraham is and just sit down. And I'm assuming he's watching the hilarity, so I'm gonna sit with him and watch the hilarity as well.
You are correct, and he immediately hands you a flask.
Taking Initiative is a product of the Spark Network. Imagine what your idea can do. For updates on the show, future news, and all things nerd, visit us on thespark.network. If you wish to conjure us on social media, you can cast message on Twitter with the handle @TI_pod, Facebook at the Taking Initiative Podcast page, and Tumblr at takinginitiativepodcast.tumblr.com. If you enjoyed the show, please leave us a review on iTunes, as it helps us grow so we can put out more content for you.
I'm Josh Perot, and I'm the DM. You can find me on Twitter at XyroxisTheBeard. That's XIROXIS the Beard.
This is Jonathan Buckmaster. I am the voice of Vendelar Greymeyer. You can find me on Twitter at Bucky_Masters.
Donna Fenimore as Callista Bergensen. You can find me on Twitter at Donna Pastry.
Well, this is Drew Tillman, and I have played Abraham Kincaid. You can find me on Twitter at NotThatDrew. Strahd must be praised.
This is Nicholas Figueroa, and I play the sometimes rude but always lovable Kent Brickwood of the East Farthing Brickwoods. You could find me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Nico Figs. That's at NIKOFIGS.
The Barovian Rhapsody theme song was created by Neil Martin. You can find him on Twitter at Bardic Martin. All music on the show is property of Kevin MacLeod and the Encompassed website. Any information about the songs in this episode are in the description below. Our Taking Initiative Barovian Rhapsody logo was created by Katie Kawaguchi of Nerds on a Roll. You can find her on Twitter at @KidKatie. That's at @KIDKATI. To give credit to the classes played in this episode, the Pendragon class, played by John Buckmaster, was created by Daresight Phantom on Reddit. The Gunslinger class, played by Nick Figueroa, was created by Matthew Mercer. The Cleric and Bard classes, played by Drew Tillman, and the Rogue class, played by Donna Fenimore, were straight from the D&D 5th edition Player's Handbook. The D&D 5e rule set and the Curse of Strahd module are both property of Wizards of the Coast.